The Melbourne Metro Tunnel is opening this year, 2025. We've been told that for a while, but we haven't known exactly when or what the opening will look like. It was recently announced that all 5 stations are now complete, and on Tuesday the 7th of October, I was invited to a press conference. Yeah, a real one, to find out when we can expect to see trains carrying passengers through the tunnel.
I'm proud to say, in early December 2025, the Metro Tunnel will open to passengers a full year ahead of schedule.
So, we now know the tunnel will be opening to the public in 2025 as promised. However, it is only a partial launch, with full service not kicking in until the 1st of February 2026. These 2 stages have been given some catchy branding. In December, we will have the summer start, followed in February by the big switch. For the initial launch in December, a limited timetable of public trains will operate through the Metro Tunnel, stopping at all 5 stations. These trains will only operate to a 20-minute frequency and only during off-peak times, but they will be in addition to the existing timetable. So no, a 20-minute frequency isn't much, but it's not taking anything away from the system. The current timetables will continue to operate, and these trains via the Metro Tunnel will be run on top of the regular services. On weekdays, the summer start trains will run between roughly 10 a.m. and 3 p.m, and they will operate as a shuttle between West Footscray and Westall stations. So trains running every 20 minutes over that central corridor via the tunnel, as well as the existing Sunbury, Pakenham and Cranbourne trains running via the City Loop. On weekends, the operating hours extend from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m, and this is a slightly more complicated timetable. The frequency is still every 20 minutes through the tunnel, but it's made up of a mixture of different shuttle patterns. One between West Footscray and East Pakenham running every 40 minutes, and one from Sunbury to Westall running every 60 minutes. Something that may benefit a lot of viewers of this channel is that the 10 a.m. starts mean the very first train, which I expect many of you will want to be on, will be at a sensible time during the day, not at the 4 a.m. start of normal service like we might have expected. Running these trains through the tunnel in addition to the existing service will create, temporarily, a flat junction at the tunnel's western end at South Kensington, with westbound trains from the tunnel conflicting with eastbound trains heading for North Melbourne. I'm sure this has been considered in the timetable, and I'm not suggesting it's going to be a big problem, just thought it was worth pointing out. As I mentioned, all 5 stations on the tunnel are officially complete, and trains will stop at all of them during the summer start timetable. However, there is one part of Town Hall which isn't complete, and that's the entrance from Federation Square, which currently looks like this, and the Premier did mention that it won't be open until late 2026. The second part of the phased opening is the big switch on the 1st of February 2026. This is where the full new timetable will kick in, with trains on the Sunbury, Pakenham and Cranbourne lines running via the Metro Tunnel full time, and it's also when the Frankston line will return to running through the City Loop, which the party faithful at the conference were very excited about.
The 1st of February will be the day when the Frankston line gets returned to the City Loop. And as you can tell, for those colleagues and passengers on the Frankston line, this has been a long time coming.
And it's also when the Sandringham line will begin through working with the Werribee and Williamstown lines, although there was some confusion about that in some of the messaging. Details on what the full timetable through the tunnel will look like are still frustratingly thin on the ground. However, we do have some idea of the daytime frequency. Trains will run at least every 10 minutes between Water Gardens and Dandenong, between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m, with peak frequencies averaging every 3 to 4 minutes. We have no indication at all what the frequencies will be before 6 a.m. or after 9 p.m. Interestingly, this promised daytime frequency isn't specifically marked as being for weekdays. Will there actually be a 10-minute frequency through the tunnel at 6 a.m. on a Sunday? Doesn't seem likely, but until we see the full timetable, who knows? The Premier was also keen to emphasise that the 1st of February would mark new timetables for all our public transport, well beyond those routes directly affected by the Metro Tunnel opening.
And just to again underscore how big a switch this is going to be to our network on the 1st of February, there will be a new timetable in place everywhere, on our trains, on our buses and on our trams as well, because this is integrating the Metro Tunnel not just with the Cranbourne, Pakenham, Sunbury lines, but with the entire public transport network.
It's not clear if this actually means a widespread increase in service or just timetable changes to fit around the new operations. For instance, I'll be very interested to see what, if any, changes are made on the Clifton Hill and Burnley groups of lines which have no physical interaction with any of the lines affected by the tunnel opening. The press release stated that opening the line in stages was in line with international best practice, and I must say I was a little sceptical what they were basing that on, but a journalist did ask the question, and full credit to the Premier who was able to provide several examples, even if the first one isn't international.
Well, there's a number. I mean, I could start with the City Loop. The project was 3 stations, but the 3 stations actually opened from 1981, 83 to 85. I think it was, my memory's going to test me now, I think it was Parliament first, then Melbourne Central, and then Flagstaff Station. There might be some others in the room who might want to correct me on that order.
She's absolutely right there, just got Melbourne Central and Parliament the wrong way around, but the years are correct.
We visited a rail project on the outskirts of Chengdu. The Chengdu Line 19 part of that project, it only started with half-hour timetable services and then progressively ramped up. The Crossrail project in London, similarly too. Part of that project only opened Monday to Friday and actually closed on weekends. The Paris Metro, part of the Paris Metro project is another example where they turned it on, I think, in June 24 and didn't fully operationalise it until mid-2025. So,
personally, I have no real objection to opening the line in stages. It's a massive project over a decade in the making, and I think a transition period of 2 months is pretty reasonable. After the conference, we were invited to visit State Library Station for filming opportunities. I've been there before, of course, but last time there was still a lot of construction happening, so it was great to see it in its finished state. We were allowed to enter the station via the underground connection from Melbourne Central, the doors to which were wide open, with lots of staff on hand to prevent any uninvited guests. Compared to my last visit, the station really did feel ready for passengers, and while most visitors were waved through the bypass gate, us serious enthusiasts were very pleased to find the Mikey gates fully operational. And also the talking bricks.
Services departing State Library Platform 1 are the 12, 11 Anzac, stopping all stations to Anzac via Town Hall.
While we're on the platform, test trains could be seen operating in both tunnels, and they were actually stopping, giving a chance to see the platform screen doors in operation. Something that got a bit of press earlier this year was a photo showing the train floor not being level with the platform, and I can confirm that, yeah, it's still not level on this train at least. I think this can be adjusted via the train's airbag suspension, but I don't know how precise that is. Hopefully there's a solution in place before December. It was very cool to see trains coming and going with lots of people on the platform, probably the closest I've seen so far to what the station will look like in service, just with a lot more politicians and journalists. On the way out, I was careful to touch off, and had the chance to leave the station via the main Swanston Street entrance, which I wasn't able to do last time. And this is a really impressive and bright space, with lots of light coming in through Danny Mellor's artwork on the Latrobe Street side. So the wait is almost over. You will be able to ride a train through the Metro Tunnel and visit these stations for yourself in early December, with the full timetable coming on the 1st of February next year. Thank you very much for watching.
I just want to finish by saying this. The Metro Tunnel is the biggest transformation of Melbourne's rail network in more than 40 years. Victorians have waited patiently for the day that they can use it, and that day will arrive in early December. And I most certainly look forward to welcoming Victorians by the trainload to check out the new tunnel. There's 5 underground stations, and see the incredible job that those 7,000 workers have done on behalf of our state. And you also better believe I will be joining Victorians on those trains.
Specific, I like you've got to call. That's the speedy. See, the roof's not tall enough, so you sort of look at